Forget gentle maidens and nurturing mothers for a moment. Mythology is filled with raw power, unyielding force, divine figures who command respect, not through kindness, but through sheer, terrifying might. Today we journey across the globe to meet 5 goddesses you wouldn't want to cross. These aren't just figures of worship. They are embodiments of destruction, vengeance, and the inescapable forces of fate. Prepare yourselves. 1. Kali, the Dark Mother. We begin in India with a goddess who is destruction incarnate. She is Kali. Kali emerges from the brow of the warrior goddess Durga, or sometimes Parvati, during battles against powerful demons. She is the fierce, untamed aspect of the divine feminine. Her domain is time itself, the destroyer of all things, but also change and ultimately creation born from destruction. Consider the demon Raktabija, a terrifying threat. Every drop of his blood that hit the ground spawned a perfect copy of himself. Imagine fighting an enemy that multiplies endlessly the more you wound him. The gods were desperate. The stake was cosmic chaos. Raktabija threatened to overwhelm the entire universe with his infinite clones. Enter Kali. She strode onto the battlefield, a fearsome sight with her dark skin, wild hair, necklace of severed heads, and a skirt made of human arms. Her solution was brutal, direct, and terrifyingly effective. She fought Raktabija, but as he bled, she extended her massive tongue and drank every single drop before it could touch the earth. No blood, no clones. Problem solved. But Kali's fury, once unleashed, wasn't easily contained. Flushed with victory and the blood of demons, she began a destructive dance that threatened to shatter the world. The consequence of her unchecked power was the potential end of all creation. The gods panicked. It was her consort Shiva who finally calmed her. He lay down beneath her feet. Realizing she was trampling her husband, Kali finally stopped, shocked back to awareness. Kali is fearsome because she represents untamable power, the necessary destruction that precedes creation, and the consuming nature of time itself. She is the womb and the tomb. 2. Sekhmet, the Eye of Ra. Now, let's travel to ancient Egypt. Meet Sekhmet, the lioness goddess. Sekhmet is the daughter of the sun god Ra, and she was his vengeance. Her domains include war, destruction, and plagues. But ironically, also healing. She who brings disease can also cure it. The story goes that humanity grew arrogant. They began plotting against the aging sun, god Ra. Enraged, Ra plucked his own eye from his forehead, and it transformed into Sekhmet. Her mission: punish mankind. And punish she did. Sekhmet descended upon Egypt in a terrifying bloodbath. As a lioness goddess, she tore through villages, slaughtering humans with savage delight, wading through blood. She was relentless. The stake here was nothing less than the complete annihilation of the human race. Her fury was so immense, she threatened to wipe them all out. Even Ra became alarmed. He wanted punishment, not extinction. But Sekhmet was lost in her bloodlust. How could they stop her? Direct confrontation was impossible. So Ra devised a clever plan. He ordered vast quantities of beer to be brewed and dyed red with ochre or pomegranate juice, making it look exactly like blood. Thousands of jars were poured out, flooding the fields where Sekhmet planned her next massacre. Thirsty from her rampage and seeing the red liquid, Sekhmet eagerly began to drink, and drink, and drink. She became completely intoxicated, her murderous rage forgotten in a drunken stupor. She fell asleep, and humanity was saved. Sekhmet's fearsome nature comes from her divine mandate for destruction, her connection to devastating plagues, the raw, uncontrollable fury of a predator unleashed. 3. The Morrigan, Phantom Queen of Fate. Over to the misty landscapes of Ireland. Here we find the Morrigan. Not always a single goddess, sometimes a trio, she is a complex figure tied intrinsically to fate, battle, and sovereignty. Her name translates roughly to Phantom Queen, or Great Queen. She is a shapeshifter, appearing as a beautiful woman, an old crone, a raven, a wolf, or an eel. The Morrigan doesn't typically wield weapons herself. Her power is more insidious. She flies over battlefields, inciting warriors into a frenzy or striking fear into their hearts. She foretells doom. One of her most famous interactions is with the legendary hero Cuchulainn. She appeared to him, offering her love and aid in battle. He, foolishly perhaps, rejected her advances rudely. The consequence of this slight was dire. Scorned, the Morrigan actively worked against him during his most crucial duel. She attacked him as an eel, tripping him in a ford. He wounded her. She attacked as a wolf, stampeding cattle towards him. He wounded her again. She attacked as a heifer, leading the stampede. He broke her leg. Despite this, Cuchulainn won his duel, but her interference marked the beginning of his end. Later, disguised as an old woman milking a cow, she tricked Cuchulainn into blessing her, which healed the wounds he had inflicted. Even gods must obey certain rules. Perhaps her most chilling act is appearing as the washer at the ford. Seeing an old woman washing bloody armor by a river before a battle meant the warrior whose armor it was would die. The stake was absolute. Her prophecy was inescapable fate. When Cuchulainn finally died, tied upright to a stone to face his enemies, the Morrigan landed on his shoulder in the form of a raven, signaling his death to all. The Morrigan is fearsome because she represents the sovereignty of fate, the grim realities of war, and the unnerving power of prophecy. She is the shadow hanging over every hero's destiny. 4. Hel, Queen of the Dishonored Dead. Now we journey north to the icy realms of Norse mythology. Meet Hel, ruler of the dead. Hel is one of the 3 monstrous children of the trickster god Loki and the giantess Angerboda. The gods of Asgard feared these offspring. Odin cast Hel down into Niflheim, the realm of primordial ice and mist. He gave her authority over all who died of sickness, old age, or accident. Basically, anyone who didn't die gloriously in battle. Her realm, also called Hel or Helheim, is not a fiery punishment pit, but a cold, damp, joyless place. Her appearance is starkly terrifying. One half of her body is that of a beautiful woman, while the other half is a rotting corpse, blue-black and decaying. She rules from her hall, Eljudnir, misery, eats from a plate called hunger, with a knife named sult, starvation. Her fearsome power lies in her absolute authority over her realm. Once you enter Helheim, there is generally no escape. The most famous story illustrating this involves the beloved god Balder. After being accidentally killed, the god Hermod rode Odin's steed, Sleipnir, down the dark road to Hel to plead for Balder's return. Hel considered his request. She stated her condition, her voice echoing in the vast hall. If all things in the world, alive and dead, weep for him, Then he shall return to the Aesir, but he shall remain with Hel if any refuse. The gods sent messengers across all realms. Everything wept for Balder, gods, humans, animals, trees, even stones. But one giantess, believed to be Loki in disguise, refused. "Let Hel keep what she has," she declared coldly. The consequence was final. Because one being refused to weep, Balder was trapped in Helheim, only to emerge after Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Hel is fearsome due to her grim appearance, her dominion over the vast majority of the dead, and the cold, inescapable finality of her realm. 5. Hecate, goddess of witchcraft and crossroads. Our final stop is ancient Greece, though her origins might be even older. We meet Hecate, a goddess profoundly associated with the mysterious and the liminal. Hecate rules over magic, witchcraft, the night, ghosts, and crossroads. Crossroads were significant places, points of decision, transition, and often considered haunted, existing between worlds. Hecate is their guardian. She is often depicted in triple form, facing three directions at once, symbolizing her dominion over past, present, and future, or heaven, earth, and underworld. Her companions are spectral hounds, and she carries torches to light the way through darkness, or keys to unlock the gates between realms. While sometimes helpful, she aided Demeter with her torches in the search for Persephone. Hecate possesses a deeply unsettling power. She's invoked in curses and dark magic. Offerings, known as Hecate's suppers, were left at crossroads. Often containing leftovers, they were meant to appease her and ward off evil spirits she might command. Disrespecting her domains or encountering her unprepared could have serious consequences. Madness, misfortune, terrifying hauntings. She walks the night with her procession of ghosts and dogs, a spectral queen whose presence blurs the line between the living and the dead. She holds keys, not just to gates, but perhaps to secrets best left undisturbed. Hecate's fearsomeness stems from her mastery over the unseen world, her connection to witchcraft and the restless dead, and the chilling power associated with the liminal spaces she commands. She embodies the fear of the dark, the unknown, and the magic that operates just beyond human understanding.